In recent weeks, South Africa's political stage has become the center of a dramatic and unexpected clash, one that has sparked intense public debate and pushed the boundaries of how far criticism of the state can go. At the heart of this growing storm is a fiery speech made in Parliament by former Western Cape Judge President John Hlophe, who is now serving as a Member of Parliament for the MK Party. His words were sharp, unapologetic, and deliberately provocative. He did not hold back as he called South Africa a broken republic, accusing the government of serious failures and even suggesting that the judiciary has been weaponized to silence political opponents. It was a moment that instantly drew attention across the country and made headlines around the world. But it also drew a powerful and determined response from President Cyril Ramaphosa, who firmly stood in defense of the nation's democratic institutions and the Constitution itself. To understand how this situation reached such a boiling point, we need to go back in time and look at the key events that shaped both of these men's roles in South African history. John Hlophe is not new to controversy. He served for years as the Judge President of the Western Cape High Court, but his career was overshadowed by repeated allegations of misconduct. His eventual impeachment in 2024 by Parliament followed a long and complicated battle with the Judicial Service Commission, which found him guilty of gross misconduct after a drawn-out inquiry. Now, just months after that impeachment, he has returned to public life as an elected representative in Parliament for the MK Party, the political formation associated with former President Jacob Zuma. It is from this position that he delivered his stunning speech, condemning the very democratic system that once removed him from the bench. In that address, Hlophe spoke with great emotion and intensity. He painted a picture of a country in crisis, where institutions are falling apart, unemployment is soaring, crime is out of control, and trust in the state is at an all-time low. He claimed that the judiciary, once respected, has now become a tool for those in power to suppress dissent and eliminate their enemies. These are not small accusations, they go to the heart of how democracy functions. And they strike a chord with some citizens who feel left behind, frustrated, and angry at what they see as the slow pace of change since the end of apartheid. Hlophe's message, though extreme to some, is one that echoes the feelings of people who believe the system is not working for them. But President Cyril Ramaphosa did not let these claims go unanswered. Speaking from the Union Buildings in Pretoria, he gave a strong and carefully worded response. He described Hlophe's remarks as a populist distortion, designed to confuse and manipulate public opinion for political gain. Ramaphosa reminded the nation that South Africa's constitution is one of the most advanced and respected in the world, and that the judiciary remains independent, impartial, and central to the rule of law. According to him, criticizing institutions is acceptable, but discrediting them without evidence can be dangerous. The president also pointed out what many consider a deep irony, that Hlophe, who was removed from office by a constitutional process involving both the Judicial Service Commission and Parliament, is now attacking the same institutions that allowed for due process and accountability. Political analysts have been quick to weigh in. Professor Sipho Seep described the entire situation as a collision between disillusionment and constitutionalism. He argued that while Hlophe may be speaking to real frustrations in society, his history and political ambitions make it harder for his message to be taken seriously. Some civil society organizations have also responded, urging leaders to avoid inflaming tensions and instead focus on strengthening institutions and restoring trust through real reform. Lawson Naidoo from the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution said that criticism is part of a healthy democracy, but it should be constructive, not destructive. He warned that encouraging public distrust in the judiciary without clear evidence risks weakening the very system that protects all citizens. This back and forth between Ramaphosa and Hlophe is about much more than just one speech or one press conference. It reflects a deeper struggle taking place in South Africa, between those who believe in reforming the system from within, and those who believe the system itself has already failed. On one side, there are leaders who continue to place their faith in constitutional mechanisms, public oversight, and the slow process of change. On the other side, there are voices calling for radical transformation, even if that means breaking down some of the institutions built over the last 30 years. It is a debate that cuts across political lines and touches the lives of ordinary South Africans every day. At the same time, the timing of this clash cannot be ignored. With economic pressures rising, load shedding continuing, unemployment affecting millions, and high-profile corruption scandals still fresh in the public's memory, confidence in leadership is fragile. In such an environment, strong speeches, whether made in Parliament or at a press briefing, carry more weight than usual. They influence how people feel, how they vote, and how they think about their country's future. That's why Ramaphosa's decision to respond publicly was so important. He was not only defending the constitution, but also sending a message to the international community and to citizens that the democratic project is still worth fighting for. Some supporters of Ramaphosa see his statement as a bold stand for stability and the rule of law. They believe he struck the right tone by standing firm without escalating the situation. Others, however, feel that the government must go further than speeches. They argue that addressing the root causes of public anger, inequality, poverty, corruption, and the slow pace of service delivery is the only real way to protect democracy. If people do not see results in their daily lives, no amount of speeches or statements will restore trust. In that sense, Hlophe's speech, while controversial, has sparked an important conversation that cannot be ignored. Looking ahead, the big question is whether this moment will lead to deeper division or much-needed reform. Will the government take this opportunity to re-evaluate its policies and reconnect with the public? Will opposition figures like Hlophe become more responsible in how they express criticism, or will the rhetoric continue to escalate? Will institutions remain strong under pressure, or will they begin to crack as political battles play out across every branch of government? Thank you for watching this in-depth breakdown of the growing tensions between John Hlophe and President Cyril Ramaphosa. If you found this video insightful or thought-provoking, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into South Africa's political landscape. What do you think? Was Hlophe raising real concerns, or was it just political theater? Do you agree with Ramaphosa's defense of the Constitution, or are institutions failing the people? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, we read every single one. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical, and keep the conversation going.